Hello YouTube, this is Mocha Girl 3 and we're about to do her hair. As this is her hair, I washed it yesterday after she went swimming, so it's dry, shrunken. I put a little bit of leave-in conditioner yesterday after I finished washing it, and one would think that it's a tangled mess right now. Before I style it, I plan on putting some cornrows in her hair. I'll be using the rat tail comb in her hand with the metal tip to make the crisp parts, some castor oil, and in this spritz bottle I have Giovanni Direct leave-in conditioner. I just squirted a little tiny bit into the bottle along with about an ounce of, well, not even an ounce, probably about a tablespoon of aloe vera juice. And that's what I'm going to use to spritz her hair before I start working with it. I would not dream of just starting to part her hair without having it first be moist. I washed her hair last night, and for the purposes of this video I allowed her to sleep with it loose. So I expect it to be somewhat tangled. What I don't recommend that you do is to come in here and immediately, definitely don't use a comb this size, but definitely don't take her dry hair and start trying to comb through it. What I recommend that you do is to first take a spritz bottle and wet the hair. This bottle has leave-in conditioner. It's Giovanni Direct leave-in conditioner, about a tablespoon of aloe vera juice, which is acidic and will return the hair's pH between a range of 4 and 5, which will make all the shingles on her hair lie down and make it smoother for a comb to go through it, or a paddle brush. In her case, I'll be using a paddle brush. So I recommend that you spritz the section of the hair that you're working with. There's no point in spritzing the whole head because it'll probably be dry before, if you're working on the back, if you spritz the entire head, the front will be dry before you finish working on the back. So I just like to spritz the immediate section that I'm working with. Is it cold? Then I use my fingers to kind of smooth the water through the hair. And at the same time, I'm moving my fingers in one direction in a way, just, you know, trying to get all the hair to be in one direction. And then I'll even use my fingers to try to isolate a section of hair, the section of hair that I want to work with. Now I already know what kind of style I have in mind, so I isolate a section that will make sense with that style. And at this point, you could take all the hair that you're not working with, gather it in with a clip, or I'm using a loose ponytail holder, just like that. See that? This is not a crisp part, but I use my fingers instead of running a comb through it because I already know that a comb will be too painful. Becca, can you go over to the other side and get me the hairbrush with the box with the paddle brush, please? Quickly. So again, I'm finger detangling, which means I'm moving my fingers all in the same direction, trying to get all the strands to move down in the same direction. And actually my hand is sliding through her hair fairly easily. Her hair is pretty wet right now. So if you were trying to stretch her hair out to get a longer style that would show her length more accurately, you wouldn't want to let her hair dry loose and have to go through this process. Okay, at this point I'm going to add castor oil. Still, see this? This is all shed hair that's coming out. We know that we shed 60 to 100 hairs a day, so I expect something to come out. All right, now I'll take half of this, about half of this section, and apply a paddle brush from the end. See how it slides through easily? See that? She's shaking her head like crazy. That section is done. Okay. Now this daughter has very fine hair. She has a lot of strands, but the strands are very fine. Her hair is very coily. But this would work with anyone's hair who, anyone who has nappy, kinky hair. But if I was working with someone with a tighter curl pattern, I wouldn't take a huge section like this to work with. I'm kind of familiar with her hair, so I know that I can get through sections this big. But if I was working with someone whose hair was even more tightly coiled, I would take a smaller section like this and start working from the ends all the way up to detangle it. This is the jojoba infused goodie paddle brush. I bought it from Walmart, very cheap. Okay. Now that this section is detangled, I can do a part without hurting her. Be careful because this is sharp, so don't press too hard. Like that. Look, she's poised to complain. That. Gentle. Like that. And then I keep going over until I have the line that I'm looking for. And I can play with that. And I'm only parting just below the jagged part I made. So I'm sliding the hair through detangled, I'm sliding the comb through detangled hair. Sorry. I pulled that too hard. There you go. See that? And then I'll take this hair that I'm not using and put it in the ponytail. And now I have a part. And I will work my way. So if I wanted to style this, I could.